Hello, I'm Deacon Jimmy Ghiglione.
And I'm Aaron Emig, and we're now in Deacon Jimmy's office here at our beautiful new space at our church. And this week we are celebrating the 14th week of Ordinary Time. And this week's question is what we receive at communion really Jesus or a symbol of Jesus? This week's gospel comes from Matthew chapter 11.
I hope all goes well with this recording. We're sitting even on opposite sides.
Yeah,
we're really getting risky. But Jesus tells us, he says, he makes this most extraordinary appeal, this heartfelt appeal in the gospel today. It echoes down through the centuries to stir up the hearts of all of us, even today. For me and you and all of us who labor or burden, he says, I will give you rest. Jesus opens wide his arms to the poor, to the meek, to the lowly, for all generations, and draws them to himself. And he's come to open his arms not just for the privileged and the learned and the educated. No, he's come for the overburdened, for the underprivileged, the brokenhearted, the deprived, all those who are suffering.
Mm-hmm.
Now we hear that, and sometimes people get the wrong idea too, that unless you're poor or you're suffering, you're excluded from the kingdom of God, the kingdom of heaven, and that's not really the case either.
No. Yeah, those cases, when we're not suffering, we're supposed to help those suffering, right? Wow, another great promise that Jesus gives to all of us. He says that if you know him, he will reveal us to the Father. How awesome is that? Jesus said that to us. So he also says that if like you said, you're struggling or you're burdened with, some sort of situation in your life, he's the one that will comfort you. People go ask advice from other people, but go turn to Jesus first. And he was the one that will give you that rest and that peace. So how much does Jesus know about you?
Jesus helps to clarify when he says, for I am meek and humble of heart. And that's so true, and that's Jesus' true nature, is precisely those two qualities. He's meek and humble of heart. And he's looking for those things in each one of us. So it's not a question of how much money do you have, how much education do you have, or you don't have. But more it's a question of attitude, gentleness, meekness, humility. Those are the qualities that Jesus is encouraging each one of us to develop every day. Mm-hmm. And those are the attitudes that Jesus is looking for in each one of us.
Yeah.
Jesus said of himself, I am the way, the truth, and the life. Mm-hmm. He is the way, but he is the way of gentleness and meekness. He's the way of humility. He's the way of service to others. He's the way of sacrifice, self-sacrifice. He's the way of love. He's the way truly of Christ-centeredness and not so much self-centeredness. Jesus has gone that way long before us, and he calls us all to follow him. What we need is that desire and that willingness and that openness to follow him.
Yeah, you said those are attitudes. I think those are the Beatitudes
you're
talking about there. Yeah. And again, it all starts with, that personal relationship with Jesus Christ. Just like any other relationship that you have in our lives, the more time you spend together and you talk with each other, share your feelings, the greater that relationship grows and grows. And it's not different with Jesus Christ. We just need to start reading that daily gospel so we can learn more about Jesus. And then we need to spend more time in prayer and that classroom of silence, to grow that relationship with Jesus Christ every day. The more you talk with them, the better that relationship gets. So I would suggest, again, just reading that daily gospel, and then building that personal relationship with Jesus through prayer. And again, it really only takes 5 to 10 minutes a day. And so what is that one thing maybe in your life that you could remove so you can spend that time with Jesus to build your personal relationship with him?
Yeah, it literally is 5 or 10 minutes and almost the least that we could do.
Yes.
Our wisdom words for this week. All things have been handed over to me by my Father. No one knows the Son except the Father, and no one knows the Father except the Son, and anyone to whom the Son wishes to reveal him. That comes from Matthew's Gospel, chapter 11.
Yeah, no, that promise that Jesus gave us, you know. Our transformation tool again is a quick introduction to the Bible by Matthew Kelly. And again, have you ever wondered, you know, how to actually read the Bible? Because it's quite overwhelming. I mean, what is there, 70-some books within there? 73, I think, and there's chapters within that. So it's a book of books. So yeah, it's overwhelming, but Matthew Kelly gives you this simple game plan on how to read the Bible. I wish I learned that when I was growing up at Catholic schools, but we're giving that out to you know, everyone that comes over to Morris Hall every Tuesday at 2:10 p.m. And our Transformation Tuesday's prayer. Jesus, how do you want me to transform my life today?
God bless you all from Saints Peter and Paul Catholic Church, a spiritual home for everyone, where we are being, growing, and making disciples.